Crafty K here. Hi, this is what I'm hopefully making today. I'm not quite sure if I've got it in, but it's a 1940s vintage apron pattern, and I will be making this one. It's 8232, and I'm making it for my daughter. She absolutely loves eggs, and when I seen this I couldn't resist it, and I think this would be absolutely fantastic in that pattern. I haven't quite worked out if I've got enough binding of a green, but I'm going to have to offer the green up to see if I like what it looks like. If not, I'll make it as far as I can, and then I can get some online and then finish it perhaps next week. Anyway, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm starting today. I bought the fabric. I think it was quite reasonable, and they got some really nice fabric online from a company called Textile Express, and they're in Shropshire. Obviously too far to go for me in the Midlands, but so if I haven't got any proper fabric shops by me, so I have to buy a lot of mine online, but then I seem to be doing so alright so far. I've got another fabric here that I plan to do, that I got from Textile. And I think it's called Kaleidoscope, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. And I did actually organise the binding for that one, and just get it here. And this is for a 1970s apron. This one again for my daughter. And it's very rare I make anything for myself. I usually always make for Helen, but I really enjoy making for her. So yeah, that's a 1970s 8152. I usually buy most of my patterns from J-Craft or eBay. So I'll just stop now and get it ready to cut out, and then I'll come back. Hi, welcome back. Well, as you can see, I've selected the pieces that I would need for this apron, which is B, which is there, and the pieces were 7, 8, 2, 10 and 9. I've noticed there's a black star. I'm a complete beginner when it comes. I've only been doing this now for about a year. I have made a few things, but obviously everything I do is usually for the first time, and I have to work everything out. But it's all an experience, and I am enjoying it. But this star, if you look here where it says, if layout shows a piece extending past fold, cut out all pieces except piece that extends. Gobbledygook, can't understand a word of it. So what I've got left is all these pieces, these three, is they want 2 of each. I understand that. This one's is the pocket, and it only wants 1. So obviously I'll wait until I unfold the fabric. I don't want to waste any. I usually do. And this one is the ruffle, and it says cut 3. This is the one that I've laid it out like this, or I think I did, and it's got 3 there, 2 right sides and a wrong. I will check what's dark and what's light. I just can't see it at the moment. Oh yeah, pattern printed side down is that's wrong side. Pattern printed side up, so there's 2 right sides. but it has got them extending, and that's on a fold line. I ain't a clue. So I'm just going to cut 3 out. Actually, what I might do to try and work that one out is find where it says sew number 8, which is the ruffles, and see if I can work out what the pattern means by the way the instructions tell you. So I'll be back in a bit. Oh, there you go. As you can see, all my fabric pieces have now been cut out according to the instructions. I just sew all them 3 pieces together end to end. So I don't know why it was over the top, I don't understand that, but I've hopefully done it right. There's my fold front and back. I don't know if you can see, but I've made some marks in this pen where all the circles go, but it's small, and I'll do that with the pin poking through, and then I circle. There is a couple of darts, and all I do with darts is stick a pin through and use one of these pens and just mark where the pin goes, and then I know I've got to do a dart. If I've got any match points, then what I usually do is just, I don't know if you can see that, I'm trying to get in, I just make a mark with the scissors, and then obviously, and there's only a couple of those. Anyway, that's that stage done. So the first instructions, I'm not sure if I've got the right one, just bear with me. I'm doing view B, which is here, and it says stay stitch waist edge of front and back, 1/2 inch from cut edge in direction of arrows. So that's the first thing I'll be doing, and then I'll come back to you. Hi, my stay stitching is done, but you probably can't see it very well because the colour of the cotton is very close to the colour of the fabric. I've pinned my darts. That was the next stage, which says do the darts on the front. I'm just doing that, so I'll sew them in now. One. I'll do the other side. That's 2. So far we've done the first 2 stages, which is stay stitch the front, that's to stop it from stretching and pulling, and to put the darts in either side. So the next stage, it says, number 3, it says for the pockets, the apron A, so I assume now is the time where I put the pocket in. So I'll just go and get that ready and then come back. Okay, right, according to A, it says to the picture, I'm not sure if you can see this, there's 2 lines of stitching. One's a short one, which is closer to the edge, and one's all the way round. The one that's all the way around is 1/4 inch in, so therefore the other one is probably 1/8 of an inch, and it's just where that deep curve is on the pocket. I assume it's to make that a lot stronger and to help it press over when you turn it over the other, and press it at the back. So we'll do that now. Hi, I've done the small ones on both sides, and now I'm just doing the 1/4 inch. I did measure it with the tape, so I roughly had an idea, and I'm using a section of my foot to give me an idea of where to put the fabric as I'm turning it and sewing. I assume that this stitch, once you I use the seam of the one you're doing now, is to help press it better and where to press it at the back. Okay, I'll take that to the ironing board and I'll come back. Okay, that was easier than what I thought, than what I expected. This material that I've got actually finger presses very well, and then give it a good press with the steam, and there's the actual shape, and I think that's turned out actually fine. I know if I'm getting you in shot all the time, I hope so. But as you can see from the edges, that's quite neat and tidy. Anyway, the next section, it says to, just turn you around slightly, there you go, it says number 8, to gather upper edge of pocket, stitch a 1/4 inch under 1/8 inch away from raw edge using a long machine stitch. So I'll just go and remember that one's 42.5 that I was on before. I'm going up to the highest, 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch, and it says to gather. Well, I'm going to do a little bit of gathering without having to pull, hopefully. Apparently this is what I got from the internet, you push and it gathers in. If not, I'll have to pull, but we'll see. 1/4 inch. So I'll needle up, and I'll leave a long thread on that just in case. I didn't secure the other end, so I think I'll secure that now. Secure the end, but not the other one, hopefully. And then 1/8 inch. And secure this end. Needle up. Just keep trying to remember not to use the automatic threader. I assume, and then it says pull up gathering stitches to 5 inches. Well, this is 6, so I've just got to pull in, so I'm just using up 1 inch. And I haven't a clue how to do this, so this is just working it out. I assume it's just pull one thread on the 1/4 inch. and ease it over. There you go, I think I've done 1 inch now. So we'll just measure that again. Oh, a bit too far this time, so there's hardly any gathers at all actually. Just a few little ruffles. Anyway, and then I'll find out what I've got to do next and then come back to you. Hi, section 9 is apply bias tape to upper edge of pocket, turning under ends at side edges. Now I've got some green and green, yellow and beige go together, and I've got a whole roll of this. I'm going to come to the other side. If I do see any stitching, once my bias tape's on, I can always take that stitching out. As you can see, that worked out a little bit better. I folded it at the back and pressed it, and it says to fold the ends in, which I've just done there, and then pinned, and then I am going to sew it. I'm going to stitch in the ditch because this cotton is so near the colour of my background that I should, if I'm very careful, I should not be able to but catch it all in at the back. So fingers crossed. That's there. Oh, I don't think I pulled it up enough, you know. No, I didn't. Right, I'm taking this out, so I'll come back when I've got the finished article and I've actually managed to do it correctly. Right, as you can see, I finally done it, and I did do stitch in the ditch. It's not brilliant, obviously. I think I need to practice bias binding, but with all the messing about and the undoing and doing, I've lost all my gathering. So when I put it on, it'll be basically like that, with just one little piece of gathering just there. But hey, it's for my daughter, and she's not the sewing police, and she loves me, so she'll forgive me. So the next section says, on outside, pink pocket to front and back along a pocket line, which I did do the large circles, so I should be able to use the dots and stitch close to the side and lower edges. So we'll do that next stage. And it's been pinned on. It's basically pinned itself on. Very good. Make sure that's well under. Start from the edge and get as close as I can. Back stitch that bit there. As you can see, I don't know if you can see that, but there's my dot, which I've matched with the top of the pocket, and then straight back with a back stitch to secure the end. So one pocket fitted. Let's have a look at that then, shall we? Let's get it in there. If you can see that. Oh, I'm quite happy with that actually. That's turned out better than what I expected, considering it looks quite nice with that. It's just just get that on there. Let's pick you up, move you over so you can see it better. I've got it on a tripod, my camera, so you have to bear with me while I lift you up. There you go. And there's a pocket just sticking just there, I think, and there's the apron to the chest. That's the skirt, front and back. And while I've got the tripod, we'll have a little tour. There's my machine. It's a Brother embroidery machine and sewing machine. I love that little guy. I've had him now for about 4 years. There's shelves with all the bits and bobs on, all the way to the top, where I buy hat boxes from charity shops, and then I keep my binding, elastic, and there's some tins at the end which are full of buttons. And then there's all my rulers, just coming down to my rulers. And then I've got some more sewing machines through into that other room, which is my bedroom. There's my wall. That waistcoat is something I've just finished for the son-in-law. Tartan, they absolutely love tartan at the minute, it's all the rage in England. And there's my sewing wall, going round, and not sure, oh, there's the ironing board. And basically I can't go all the way around now, I'm just up by the table, so let's just go back. I'm going to wish you back round. And when I'm in here, this is my telly, sewing room, computer. There's my telly. I've always got a sewing channel on YouTube. That's where I learned to sew from, was YouTube. And the first thing I ever did was a bag. Oh, what's the name? If I remember the name, I'll tell you in a moment. I made a bag, and I was so chuffed with myself, and I haven't stopped making things since. But then I went straight into patchwork, and but it's only been the last year that I've actually started to make clothes and use patterns. So that's why I'm still a beginner at that. I started sewing very late in life, but anyway. That's the little tour over, and I'm just going to have a cup of tea and then we'll come back. Hi, welcome back. There's a picture of, we're back now on our apron B pattern. There's a picture of the pocket, and it also says narrow hem, side edges of front and back. When you go to the instructions, this is what you'll have to do if you start and read patterns. It says narrow hem, which means press up hem to form narrow hem, tuck under raw edge to meet crease, stitch hem in place. So I shall probably turn over 1/4 of an inch with the iron, press, and then stitch that into place, and then we'll come back for the next section. Right, the next thing we've got to do is number 4, is for the neck strap, and it's got to be done in a French seam. Well, I don't do French seams very often, so I had to go back on YouTube and have a look, and apparently you do it wrong side together first. Stitch centre back seam of neck strap sections in a French seam. So we'll do that now. So it's wrong sides together, and there are my cuts that I made earlier, so I shall match those up. It's only a small seam, so it shouldn't take as long. Very narrow, so just a little bit. I suppose you just like 1/4 of an inch, I suppose. And back tack, cut, and trim very close to the stitches. And then fold it this way, right sides together, manipulate the seam till it's on the top and it's all out. And then 1/4 inch, thereabouts, securing both starts and stops all the way across. And finish, and there you have a, I'm not sure if that's right, French seam. I assume the first seam has been incorporated, so you press that to one side. Anyway, I'm going to double check the internet and I'll be back soon. Right, that I've checked, and that is French seam. Apparently the seam is inside there. Press it to one, finger press it to one side, and we're ready for the next section, which says apply double fold bias tape to long edges. Oh no, have I got the wrong one? No, I've got the wrong one. Oh no, I haven't. This is apron B. Oh, right. I'm looking at the wrong side. Oh no, right, okay. Apply double fold bias tape to inner edge of strap and see general direction for applying double fold bias tape. So I will have a quick read of that and then I'll come back when I've done that section. Okay, we're just finishing our biased tape, and I'm just now going to stitch in the ditch, slow the machine down a little bit to catch it at the back. Perhaps just a little bit fast, I don't want to be here all day, do we? So I'll pin from the back, so I'm going to have to pick the fabric up. That's a necktie or something, that one is. So let's see what it says next. That's this section we've just done, which is section 4, section 5. With wrong size together, pin straps to neck edge of front and back, having upper and outer edges even and based. So I'll pin them together and then I'll come back. Right, the next stage is to put ties, necktie, to, and it calls this, let me just have a quick read for you, with wrong size together. That's not wrong size together though, is it? But according to the pattern, this is the picture where you've got this up like that. Hang on a minute. Yeah, because all you do is like that. And that's not wrong size together. So when you hold that up like that, oh, that one's wrong. Hang on a second then. So it's not wrong side then, is it? Right, it says with wrong size together, pin straps to neck edge of front and back. According to the picture, the light side, according to B, is pattern printed side up. That's all light. This bit is that way with the bias binding with the light up, and that tucked that way, and that tucked that side, and that is right sides together. So why didn't it say that? Because it said with wrong sides together. There's no wrong side there whatsoever. And this is what I mean about learning to sew. Obviously there's something I'm not understanding, or the pattern doesn't read the way it should do, because I should be doing that, I think. But I could be wrong. I could be extremely wrong with wrong sides together. See, if you put wrong sides together and you turn that over and you do wrong side, if you put that way, wrong sides together, and what you should see, and you've got that according to the picture, because that right side, because the dark colour is pattern printed side down, pattern printed side down, and the light colour is pattern printed side up. If it's wrong sides together, which I assume it means that like that, wrong sides together, but then obviously, and that is the way the bias binding is in the picture, and then you twist that up, which makes it right side, wrong side, but then it's the wrong sides together. So why is this light? And if it's light, it should be that way. So this is what confuses me. So I'll be back. So just go across and just take some off. There you go. Now I'm going to pin this all the way, open the bias tape. They're pretty much the same actually, these two. It's very difficult to tell. But we're going to do this side here. So pin this all the way across. Do what you usually do with bias tape. Sew it, flick it up, sew it from the other side, and then we'll come back. go. There you go, that's that section on. So this bit and that we've done now, and then I think we have to do something here. We have to reinforce where the V is, just there. Then we have to sew 1/4 inch from there to that small circle, and then we have to cut, and we have to go just like 1/4 inch, sorry, it's from there to there, 1/4 inch this way, and then cut towards the circle. And I think then that helps the bias tape go around. I think that's the next thing to do. So I'll just go and do that and I'll come back. Right, this is where we reinforce the corner from this section here, and we go just from the notch to the circle. And I'm going to reinforce it, and I'm going to do back stitch. I'm going to go towards and go through the circle and a couple of stitches beyond, reinforce a couple of stitches, and again forward, because we have to cut that from that corner to the circle, and then do the same the other side. So it's where the notch is, the same distance down, I assume. That's what I did on the other side. Am I don't think I'm oh, I've just got to be back in a minute. And I've re-threaded the machine, and it's about there, just underneath where the notch is, backwards and forwards, and towards the circle, through the circle, 1, 2, 3, and back, 1, 2, 3, and then finish. That's that section done, and we have to cut from the corner to, without going through the stitches, and I assume that's to make it easier for the bias tape. So I'll go from the corner, I'll do this one, towards, there you go. I pinned all the bias tape from the small dot where I cut to, all the way round to the other small dot. And it's just a matter of sewing it on. I'll probably fast speed this section. Find the other dot I'll sew onto. Double back and up. Well, we know what we've got to do now, and that's to turn it over, press it, and then sew again. Let me just read how it says to finish. Apply double fold bias tape to outer edge of strap and front. That's from the dot all the way round to the dot, turning under ends at small dots. So I'll turn, I think that's what it means, just turn them under slightly as you're sewing them before you turn them back. That must be having to something the way you join in the next one to go round to the actual skirt itself. So back in a bit. And there you go, that's the complete top section done with all the bias tape completely. done on that. Pockets on, as you know, and there's a pocket. Oops, not quite got it in camera shot. And let's just have a quick look to see what's next. It says number 8. Move this. Put this here to see if you can see it. Press under 5/8 on short end of waistband and tie end, number 9. Press under 5/8 on short end and tie end with small dots. With right sides together, pin waistband to waist edge of front and back, matching small and large dots. Be careful to match small dots exactly. Stitch between small and large dots, back stitching to reinforce seam. Being careful not to catch inbound edge of front and back. Press waistband out, pressing seam toward waistband. That's as clear as mud at the moment, so I'm going to have to get them another study. I'll be back soon. This section said 5/8 of an inch. Waistband is under here, and it's sewing the waistband to the front and back, and I've just put my needle into the small dot. So I think it's 5/8. This is 5/8 of an inch, which is what my black line is, if you're wondering, on my machine. And I'll be using a tape measure to actually. That's wrong because it says right sides together, so, and I haven't put right sides together. Right, this next section is where we attach the waistband, and there is, you turn 5/8 of an inch over where the 2 small dots are. You have a small dot where you ended from binding down it, and then you cut into after you reinforced it. You match that circle, right sides together with that circle, match the notch there, and then that's where the end of the apron finishes, and you have a large dot where you continue to sew to that large dot, and then you reinforce this. So we'll do that then on both sides, and I'll come back. This is just one. I've done one side, and this is the other one. I've reinforced the start where the small dot was. 5/8 of an inch again, making sure that this is encasing your darts as well. Sewing your darts down, so make sure they're pointing in the same direction. Continuing to sew to the large dot, and then reinforce that, still keeping your 5/8 of an inch, and let's go to the next one. Right, this section is turning the tie right sides together, 5/8 of an inch, reinforcing I think that may be too far, back up twice, turn, oh, just the once probably, and then I'll have to make it go. Right sides together, put the edges together, and then just sew 5/8 inch seam down to the large dots. Which I'll put a pin in to tell me where they are so I don't carry on. And then turn right sides out and press, but I've got to do the other one as well. You must be 3/4 of the way through now. It's a ruffle. I have got a ruffle foot, but I'm not sure whether it's this for this machine or not, so I should have to look that one out and have a look. I think it's for my Singer. Right, if you look inside, I don't know if you can see, but oh, dots must be up here. Yeah, dots are up there. Still not there yet. There they are, look. Just there, put the dots. It's quite good actually because they do match. Quite pleased so far, so good. Even though there was a little bit I didn't understand, I have managed to do it. And let's just put a pin here so I shall forget where it is. Just there. And then reinforce. Reinforce, reinforce, reinforce. Now do the same the other side, turn inside out and press. This section of turning the right side out and then finishing them off was easy, so that didn't need no explanation because that's, you can see what needs doing, and it's okay to read. Right, we're on the ruffles, so we've got to do French seams. Well, as you remember, I cut out 3 pieces, so I've got to sew 3 pieces together with a French seam. So you know how to do French seams. If not, it's on YouTube, and I'll come back when I've done that section. Next stage is the ruffle. Turn it over 5/8 inch and press after you've done your French seams and joined the 3 together, and then turn it over again, forming a hem, and then it says it says apply double fold bias tape to raw edge of ruffle. So that's the opposite end to what we've just, we've just done this end, and now we want to do the fold tape all across that, and you know that's just pinning, sewing, and then sewing again. So I'll come back after I've done that section. Okay, so as you can see, that's now done. One side you've got the hem, and on the other side you've got the bias tape. Now it needs to be ruffled. In the pattern it had a stitch line, and if I hadn't turned these over in the hem, it probably was about down here. Stitch line going across there. What it says is 1/8 of an inch either side of the stitch. I could draw it back in, or I could just measure it down and just eye it all the way across, or I could use a ruffle. So while I'm making my mind up to what to do, I'll go off and see if I can find a ruffle foot. Right, I couldn't find the ruffle foot. It's a bit long material for me to have to pull all the way through and gather. I think I'd rather have huge pleats anyway. So basically I've put some black cotton. I don't know whether you can see any black cotton, there's some there, look. And huge stitches, and then just pulled it, fitted it in lots of pins. Let's try one. I did want to leave a bit of a gap. It looks like I'm going to have to go right next to the green. I can always take them stitches out. It started off well, but it failed miserably. But as you can see, there's the finished article. As I say, I didn't do the ruffles quite the way they explained it. I haven't got the patience. Great big massive stitches with black thread that I could see. Pin it on, level it all out and get as many pleats as you can. Make sure it fits from end to end and keep messing with it until you're satisfied you've got the ruffles in the right place. Then about 2, 3 or even 4, it all depends on yourself. Millimeters down below your green bias binding, then I've sewn it all the way across. Everything's caught. I've double checked it, I've ironed it and pressed it, and I think that's lovely. I mean, if you look at the I don't know if I can get it in shot, but if you can see the pattern properly, I actually think it looks like very good, I thought. Anyway, I'm pleased with it, so I'll just go up to show you what it all looks like. Try not to move too fast. Then I'm going to edit this film and then put it on YouTube, and then she'll get a nice surprise, hopefully. I've left the cardigan on so it looks as if there's somebody wearing it, but there you go. It's a nice big bow at the back, so that worked well. You can put quite a bit in that pocket. I've probably done a couple of things just slightly differently, but I've done my best. I'm not a sewer, I'm learning. So anyway, I hope that you all have fun and that you enjoyed this tutorial, and hopefully soon I'll do the 1970s, and then we'll see the difference and how easy that one is. Thank you very much for watching, and good night.